All right, welcome back. Welcome to KimTalks. I am your host, Kim Hayden. I'm super thrilled to be here again today. What a blessing every day we get a chance to do what we have a passion for. And my passion is finding women who are making changes in this world, be it entrepreneurs, coaches, practitioners, or just, those everyday leaders within community. Well, today we have a leader. It's definitely somebody who is out there hustling it, working it, and finding amazing stories herself. Ellie Shefi is the definition of tenacious, sorry. Having overcome a lifetime of adversity, including abuse, domestic violence, homelessness, cancer, and a myriad of other health issues that have seen her defy the doctor's death deadlines for over 2 decades. Ellie has mastered mindset, resiliency, and resourcefulness. She has dedicated her life to the empowerment of others. Ellie is an attorney, entrepreneur, and a number one international best-selling and award-winning author, speaker, strategist, media host, consultant, coach, philanthropist, and publisher who provides her clients with practical, easy to implement tools and strategies that generate results. Host of the Free by Design television show and You're Not Your Scars podcast. She is regularly interviewed in publications and other podcasts and television shows, including NBC, ABC, CBS, New York Times, Forbes, Entrepreneur, Yahoo News, and LA Tribune, and TED Ed. Just a few. Oh my gosh. You know what? Ellie, I am telling you, I'm out of breath. Like, this is incredible. Everything that you do is, you are mind blowing for me. Welcome, welcome. How are you today?
I am outstanding. Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So I didn't even get into the depth. We just did the high view of like that skim, like the the brief bio. Can you share with us, first of all, where are you? Because we're always curious. Everybody's around the world. I'm always curious where everybody's at, and share with us what you do.
So I am currently in Southern California, sunny Southern California, and I help people to use their voice and stand in their power and live a life that they love. And I do that whether I'm helping entrepreneurs to launch, pivot, diversify, and scale their companies, or whether I'm helping women to find their voice and use it to stand in their power and really become the architect of a life they love, or whether I'm working with speakers or in my nonprofit or all the things, any of the verticals of my companies. It really is about showing up as you in the world.
Amazing, amazing. So, how long have you been doing this?
So I have 35 years in education, 30 years in entrepreneurship, and 20 years in law. And as you referenced, a lifetime of the real world in the trenches experiences. And so I love to just bring that all together when I am inspiring people or empowering people.
So, okay, so you're in the coaching world, and we know that over the pivot, so this pandemic pivot that we've all experienced, that they're anticipating upwards of 30% of women over the age of 40 will not go back to their corporate jobs. And they're all looking at you, Ellie. They're all looking at you. How do you do this? How do you navigate the online? How do you make money? We know that statistically, the average coach only makes 46,000 a year. So we know what the stats are out there. And I'd love to dive into this a bit more with you if you're good with that, because these are some of the people that you're talking to, speakers and entrepreneurs and such. So I'd love to leave them, if you're open to this, some tangible tips. If they're year one or year two or literally just starting tomorrow, you know, let's create our avatar. She is 46 years of age. She has worked the last 20 years within a job. So
Yep.
now she's entering into the terrifying world of no actual paycheck and entrepreneurship. And we're not even going into the finances of how do you juggle paying bills when you don't have a reliable paycheck. But where does she start? She has
Yeah.
an incredible story. She has good work ethics, but she she's not in the world where she's heard of ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson and Grant Cardone, and she's not been in this space. Where does she start?
So I think there's a few really foundational things. First of all, most of us that you are describing have lived our life either on autopilot, or we have lived our life so far based on the expectations of others. So we've done the things that they've told us to do, right? If you go to high school and you go to college and get a job and you build your career, then you're going to arrive at this magical Shangri-La, and there's going to be unicorns and rainbows and your life's going to be perfect, right? This is the story that we're conditioned. And so we've gone along our life doing all the things they told us that we needed to do to reach this place of happiness. And what many of us haven't done until this great reset is, what do we want? What do I want? What are my values? What are my priorities? What does success look like to me? Because my definition of success may not be your definition or their definition. So if you are in that situation, ladies, where you're like, I'm not going back to how it was, but I don't know where to go from here, the first thing I would invite you to do is to come home to yourself. And so that's where you are in your life right now. What do you value? What does success look like to you? What does joy and happiness look like to you? What does purpose look like to you? If you were on your deathbed and you had minutes left to live, what's that message, that thing that's inside you that you must share with the world, that you could not die without expressing? How does that fit in with your definition of success, with your values, with the life that you desire for yourself, with what happiness is and joy is within you, where you are right now? That's your first starting point, because without that clarity, you don't have a destination in your GPS. So once you're clear on that, then you can say, okay, well, what do I know? What do I love? What am I really good at? And then just make lists. Pull out the sticky notes or start making lists and look for the intersection of, what do you know? What do you love? What are you good at? So you find the intersection of that, and then pull up the values, your definition of success, that initial part that we just talked about. Where's the overlap? Where's the alignment? That's your starting point. From there, if you want to build a business or you want to enter a coaching space or anything like that, now you know kind of what your superpower is, your aligned superpower. And then it's, well, how can I use that to meet a need in the marketplace? What is a problem that I can solve using that superpower? That then gives you the direction of, oh, okay, now I know the thing that I can build, the way that I can serve, that is in alignment with who I am and my values and my definition of success and the life that I want, harnessing my own superpower, my strengths, my skills, my knowledge, my experience. Your next step then is, who needs the solution that you're offering? Who has the problem that you want to solve? Those are going to be your clients. And then you can dive into your ideal client avatar. So I think that is a really good trifecta of of where to start, how to figure out what you want to do and who you want to serve.
And, we hear a lot around imposter syndrome, and a lot of women, they get excited about this, and then they go, and then once they start investigating, which smart women do, we start looking up it's why we crush the coupon craze. It's like, we look, when we figure out, we go deep. Yeah. And then they go, but everybody else is doing it. Yep. So what do you say to that? Because I hear that a lot. Everybody else is doing it, so maybe I shouldn't do it.
Here's the thing. I would love to say that we all are this incredible genius that's a total innovator that's going to come up with some life-changing thing that's never been done or said before. But the reality is most of us are going to enter a space where there's someone else. And here's the thing. If nobody else is doing the thing you want to do, there's probably a reason for it. They probably tried and it didn't work. So you actually should get excited when you want to do the thing that lots of other people are doing, because you're like, Yahtzee, there's money in that, there's need in that, there's people are serving that need. Amazing. So then what you do after celebrating the fact that you're onto something is, how can you show up differently? So I'm a firm believer in vibration and frequency and attracting your ideal client. And that's why I start everything from that place of value, your values, your definition, and then going through your own experiences. What are you good at? What's your knowledge, your skills, your passion? Because guess what? There's only one you.
Yep.
And we may have similar stories. You and I have some similarities.
You and I are very similar, and yet we approach things through, you have formal education, you have that attorney background, you have more of the systems and stuff, whereas I'm more of the sales side, the entrepreneur side. I've never had a paid job, and the reality is I am the type of person that would break apart the toaster to try and like re-engineer it. So it's the same message. I always tell people, there's two things I'm definitely absolutely sure. You're not that special, and yet you are that special.
Yep.
You're not so special that you're the only person thinking that there's a need there.
Yeah.
And you are special enough that you're the only person that speaks in your voice.
Yeah, you're the only you. So it's so important when you show up in the world as you, not doing the things they told us to do, not doing the things, not showing up as the persona that you think your client would want. But when you just are aligned and you show up authentically in your voice and your power through your values and your experiential lens, when you show up in the world as you, the people that should be working with you or buying your product or engaging your services, their little honing beacons go up and they're ding, 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 ding. That's my person. That's my person. That's my person. And we've all seen it. There's a million shoe designers out there, but yet you gravitate towards certain ones. There's a million clothing designers out there, but yet you gravitate towards certain one. How many kinds of potato chips are there? It's a potato, it's some salt, whatever. There's a million brands, but either you're a Ruffles girl or a Doritos girl or a Lay's girl or whatever the case may be. So as long as you are showing up authentically as you, your ideal clients are going to resonate with you and they're going to flock to you. Like, they're going to want to work with you. So just be you. Everyone else is already taken. Be you.
Absolutely. I think Shakespeare said it best, that there's only 7 original storylines.
Yep.
And yet look how many books and movies, and they are all the 7 standard storylines, right? The villain, the hero, the damsel, the rags to riches. Like, there's 7, and so and the reality is if Shakespeare was to take a look at your story and my story, we would be in the same storyline, right? Yep. And yet we have different paths, which makes our voices different, even though we have similar experiences. We have different paths. And I think that's the big thing. I know that this journey can be hard. And sometimes women feel that they're in a silo. They're working on their own. So what are some ways that you can pull them out of, like, ways that you encourage them to connect or find that grouping? Or you follow what I'm saying, Ellie? Like, okay, so I'm gonna leave that to you.
In a silo. Like, do not work in a silo. Success leaves clues, and proximity is power. And now, especially during the last 2 years, things have just exploded. There are Facebook groups, free Facebook groups for everything.
Everything.
There are memberships for everything. There are meetup groups for everything. There's now LinkedIn groups for everything. So gone are the days where there was no easy online way to find like-minded thinkers, or to find people in your niche, or to find fellow entrepreneurs who are in the same stage of their journey in the same industry. Now it is so easy. Log on to Facebook, search groups, put in the topic that you want. I promise you, you're going to get a list of a million different groups. You're going to be able to see how many people are in it, how many posts per day or per week are happening. So you're going to know whether it's an active group, and you can request to join. Some may be tied to a program, but there's so many out there that are free. And now that things have opened back up, you can go to meetup.com and do the same thing. You can find groups in your local geographical area, and you can find online groups. But proximity is power. And when you get into proximity with people doing what you want to do, you're going to learn more. You're going to go further faster with more clarity and ease. You're going to avoid some landmines, some big landmines and the common mistakes. And you're going to find support. You're going to find encouragement. You're going to find people that you can partner with, or that you can collaborate with, that is going to help you grow, help you launch. So, get in circles. Do not work in a silo, ladies.
Absolutely. You've mentioned money and such, and a lot of women, they don't understand kind of the investment into brand, and we won't even go into brand identity and brand confidence in this one. I would actually love to do a follow-up with you at some point, because I have a feeling that we could really work through a lot of this and create some incredible insight for women. But I want to talk money, because women, I hear this too often.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so passionate about this. I would do it even if I wasn't being paid. Well, the bank doesn't like buttons. So let's talk money. Investment into your company. I read a statistic recently that they said companies should invest 7% of their forecasted or projected where they want to go revenue into their company for growth. So this is into education and promotion. So if you want to make $100,000, you need to invest $7,000. And yet on the flip side, I hear all the time women saying, I don't have money. I've got to ask my husband. I'm not sure. I don't know how to work this. I'm not sure about technology. If they're investing money, which they need to be, where would you suggest they start?
With a good coach. Absolutely. Because here's the thing, if you're trying to figure it out on your own, and you're not good with tech, or you're not good with copy, or you're not good with funnel building, or you don't understand high conversion copy or funnels, and you don't understand the process, and you don't know what a lead magnet is, and you're going to struggle and flush money down the toilet, and time and energy, and get frustrated if you're trying to figure it out on your own. If you invest the money in a good mastermind, or a good mentor, or a good coach who's got the resources, who knows, they can tell you, nope, you're going to get this, and we're going to set it up together, or my team will set it up for you. There are so many benefits to finding the person who's already done it, who knows what needs to be done. They're able to guide you and teach you and get things done. You're going to actually spend less money in the aggregate, because you're going to get it done right the first time, and you're not going to have to build it, rebuild it, and you'll be able to revenue generate much faster. So I always, a good coach who can help you with the right systems, with the right people, get the right pieces in the right order. Because so many of us think, oh, I need to do this I need to build out an entire website before I've done anything else. No. There's a smart order to things where you can be generating revenue along the way before you're reinvesting and building out more complex things.
Absolutely. So out of curiosity, how many platforms, apps, AIs do you believe that you implement in a single week?
A crazy amount because I'm at that point in my business. I don't think you need to start that way though.
Yeah, I think that's a big challenge for a lot of women is I've talked to some women that, like I said, coming from corporate America, and because we're in this space, we know who all the players are, we know who to listen to, we you know everything from just great reading like James Clear Atomic Habits through to the sales lingo by Grant Cardone, to listening, to following Mel Robbins and listening, we
Yeah.
know who is kind of at that top, and who can help lead the leaders, right? um Where's a good place for these people, for the new emerging women, the women who are afraid but have incredible messages and stories and offerings? Where's a good place for them you've mentioned Facebook, but is there any conferences? Is there any books that you love? Like, these are like tangibles that they could go to, because as we know, the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
where are some places that you hang out?
So I have quite a few coaches and I'm part of quite a few groups because I drink my own Kool-Aid. I know that in order for me to reach the next level, I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the most successful person in the room. I always want to put myself into rooms with people who are further in the journey so I can learn. So right now, I mean, the list is pretty substantial. I work with Jack Canfield and Patty Aubrey and Lisa Nichols. I work with Barry and Blue over doing virtual events over at Sage Productions. I'm with Stu McLaren. I'm with Rachel Miller. I'm with Tony Robbins, of course, and Dean Graciosi and Anthony Trucks. And I love Mel Robbins and Jamie Kern Lima. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I mean, I could spend 10 minutes just talking about all the different programs that I look at and the mentors that I have, because it's that important. And you mentioned investing. And sometimes, I would do it even if I could do it for free. Two things. I started with what are your values and aligning the business. So yes, you're always going to do something in the vein that fuels your cup, that fills your cup, that fuels you and supports you. However, money is a vehicle for impact, and an empty vessel has nothing to give. So if you don't build a successful business, you can't help people. You may be able to help that one client that you did for free, but imagine, look at Jamie Kern Lima, look at Mel Robbins, look at all of the players, look at Tony Robbins and how many billions of people he helps, not just in the coaching space, but in the meals that he that he donates, in the children that he can rescue through Operation Underground Railroad and all the other causes and supports, because he has the financial resources. And when you understand that sales is service, and yes, we've heard that ad nauseum, but when you understand that you are serving powerfully, then you receive so that then you can scale your impact. You can give even more. And it's so, so, so important to also understand, ladies, and this goes to a fundamental thing that so many of us struggle with. And you mentioned imposter syndrome, and it kind of ties into that. So important. Ladies, if you aren't willing to invest in yourself, why would anyone else invest in you? If you're not willing to charge someone, if you don't think that you bring enough value to the table to really be able to serve them powerfully, then why would anybody hire you? We pay for things that we value. We buy things that we see value in, that we think are going to bring us a return on our investment, whether that's we buy the shoes because we love the shoes and we feel powerful and we've got our swag and we feel beautiful in them. We don't need the pair of shoes.
Yep.
We have other shoes.
You
So
can absolutely. I 110%. I know that when I go on stage, and I just so you know, my whole shtick, I am a far better like comedic relief than I am a keynote speaker. And I am still trying. I have the memory of a goldfish, man. Memory of a goldfish. But I keep being asked to speak. So when people are asking things of you, don't give it for free. They're asking because they see value in it, right? So, and that is, I think, the greatest challenge because we raise our children for free.
Yep.
We volunteer at the school for free. We do all the housework for free. And we're so programmed and conditioned that good girls are nice girls. Well, there is nothing wrong with being a nice leader.
Yep.
You cannot lead if you cannot afford to lead. So I know myself. I just bought this shirt. I love White House Black Market. It's my favorite place to go when I come down. And I know it's not I could go cheaper and go to Target, or I could go more expensive. I have a comfort space, and I like the way this company cuts their clothes and makes room for everything, including girls. And did I need to spend that $200 on a new shirt? No.
But you love it.
Did it make me stand up taller and feel like better? Because it doesn't matter how much we do. I've done over 70 half-hour episodes of television. I have sat down with some of the top celebs. Like when you get an opportunity to sit with people like Elizabeth Vargas, who has been in the newscasting and journalism world on A&E and 48 Hours. Like this woman is iconic. And then you get 10 minutes FaceTime with her. Guess what? I still have the feeling of imposter syndrome. I'm still here listening to everything you're saying, Ellie, going, well, I think I need to hire Ellie because I'm ready to go next level. And, it was interesting. I interviewed the gal who was the wrestling gold medalist for Canada for the Rio Olympics.
Wow.
And she said, the coach she started with is not the coach she went to the Olympics with.
Yep.
But she went to the Olympics with a coach.
Yep.
And she's, this is a woman that coaches around the world, top teams, top performers, and yet she still has a coach.
Yeah. Right? Everybody has a coach. Even Tony Robbins has a coach. Everybody has a coach. Presidents have cabinets of advisors. This NFL teams, the Super Bowl winning NFL team has a coach. Right? They have several coaches. They have a team of coaches because you can't see when you're in the fishbowl. You need the external perspectives to see your blind spots. And you need a coach that's going to call you on your stuff, that's not going to allow you to make excuses when the going gets tough. You need a coach that's going to see your blind spots, call you on it, and help you get from where you are to where you want to be. I mean, to your point exactly, what got you to Egypt is not getting you to the promised land, because every level has new challenges. You learn and you ascend, and then now you're the new kid on the block at that level. And you need someone that has navigated that can say, hey, take my hand. Come on, I got you.
Exactly.
At the next level.
And I would think as a coach, honestly, it's funny because I think we almost killed our last editor because we were on such a tight time frame for this TV show. And it was just brutal. Poor guy looked like a vampire buffet by the end of the day. But the reality is that I always believe push hard. And my goal is that you get so good that I can't afford your services. I can't afford your expertise. Wouldn't that be amazing to be on somebody's journey like that? So I always tell people that coaches are a reason, a season, and a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Right? And knowing that and allowing space for that. And as a coach, knowing that and knowing where you're at within the space. I know that in real estate, I've done 22 years of real estate, and I coach new agents or failure to launch agents. Agents are going, I don't get it. Why am I not getting it? And I work with them to go in and get listing level on. We're talking guerrilla warfare. We're talking how to word your door hangers, very low level. Can I teach you how to run your lead gen platform with conversion? No, I can't. You've got to go to another coach for that. But I can teach you how to create your persona. So this is okay. It is okay to move around. And I think that's one of the things people, it's like they don't even want to start down that road for fear that they're going to hurt somebody's feelings or that they're not going to be true to something. But that's just my 2 cents. I know that's a bit of a diatribe, but.
And I think coaches, you only want to work with the coach until you have navigated that and you're on the other side. And coaches should expect that. I love my clients. They are raving fans. They are friends. They become family. They stay with me for years, but not in the same capacity.
Yeah.
I look at it, if I'm a coach and you're working with me long-term in the same capacity on the same thing, then I failed you, because it's my job to equip you with the tools and strategies that you need to outgrow me, to get to the point where you don't need me anymore and you can fly on to the next person or the next level of your business or the next product you want to launch. It's not my job to keep you. It's my job to get you ready to soar.
Absolutely. Okay. So Ellie, on that note, what is a quote that you live by? What is something that speaks to your soul?
2 of them. These have been literally my North Star guiding light. Life happens for me, not to me, and it happens through me. That's the first one. And the second one is change your story, change your life. And what both of those allow me to is know that I can always control the controllables. I can control my language, my perspective, the meaning I assign to things. I can choose a positive, empowered lens through which to look at something. So it doesn't mean that an event or a circumstance didn't happen, because it happened and that's the way it is. But I can choose how I look at it. I can choose the framework that I use. So life happens for me, not to me. And it happens through me is my reminder to find the good in everything, to consciously look for the lesson and the growth opportunity in everything, and to find the blessing in everything, and then to live in gratitude, in flow, as a light, as a vessel for change.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Ellie, where can people find you?
So you can obviously connect with me on social media, but you can also go to my website, which is ellieshefi.com. So head to my website and send me a message. I would love to connect.
You are an outstanding woman, and you're singing to the choir here. I'm so glad we have had this opportunity to connect, and I actually see future conversations because there's such a synergy. So folks, thank you so much for joining me and giving us your most valuable resource, your time, sharing your space with us. I really do truly value this. And Ellie, thank you again. Be sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support in those simple ways will continue growing this forward and getting this message out further and getting it further and further. And we can make a change in this world. So until then, you know what? Next time, I look forward to seeing y'all. I'm Kim Hayden, and this is Kim Talks.